What's up, everyone? I hope everyone is doing well out there. Before I begin this video, I just want to say that I'm not making this video, and my intent to make this video is not, my intention is not to disrespect, belittle the people of the Philippines, the culture of the Philippines. I'm just making this video to put it out there to people so they're aware of the topic of this video and what to expect if they decide to come to the Philippines, visit the Philippines, or even retire in the Philippines. So please don't take it the wrong way. Topic of the video is called the Philippine skin tax. What is it and how to deal with it as a foreigner? I always say there's four expats or four foreigners that will come to the Philippines. First foreigner that's coming, they're coming here on vacation. They've saved their money up. Maybe they're coming here with their wife. They're returning back to spend a couple weeks here hanging out with their family, or a guy who's coming here for the first time. He saved his money. He's coming here whether to meet a girl or just come here on vacation to check the Philippines out. Those people, they have no problem spending money. Like, they have saved. They don't mind overpaying for things. They just don't mind. They've save that money. They're here to have a good time, and they're gonna have a good time no matter what it costs. Then you have the expat. I would call him like a well-to-do expat, a foreigner who has decided to come here, live here. They've got plenty of money. They might know they're being overcharged for something, but they just don't care. They don't care because they got so much money, it just doesn't bother them. Then you have, I guess, the middle-class expat or foreigner that comes here and is living here. They got money, they can live here. They can live a comfortable life here. They can enjoy life here. They can travel here, but they watch how they spend their money. You know, they don't mind paying a little extra for certain things. Other things, they're just, no, they know what it should be and they're not gonna pay it. And then you got the broke expat. The expat that has come here and, you know, he can live here, but he is watching every single peso that he is spending here. Those I would say would be, I would look at it as like the four types of expats here. So what I say, and it's a known word here, the skin tax. It boils down to a foreigner paying extra for a product or a service based solely upon his skin. That's what it is. It's a skin tax. Where are you going to see this? Like, where are you going to see this? First of all, it depends on where you live. If you live out in the province and you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're like the only foreigner around for kilometers and kilometers and kilometers, you more than likely are not going to pay extra for anything. You're going to pay what the locals pay. I know that for a fact. When we first moved here, we were out in the province and I could walk through the market with Lut and they weren't going to charge me extra for anything. I guess it's just not in them. You know, it's not in them. Now, if you live in a populated area where you have a lot of foreigners, say Manila, Makati, Quezon City, Cebu City, areas around Cebu City, say in Dumaguete, say up here in Angeles, Baguio City, Siargao, or not Siargao, Subic Bay, where you've got a lot of foreigners living, you will tend to get that skin tax. Why? Why do you get charged the skin tax? A lot, not all Filipinos look at foreigners as having money. They look at you as having money. You're in my country. That means you can afford to be here. That means you must have money. Here's the thing, guys. I have seen a lot more Filipinos here with a lot more money than foreigners. Perfect example. We went shopping today, S&R. You know, my bill totaled like 9,000 to 10,000 pesos. Enough food for what we needed for the month from S&R. I'm standing next to a Filipino and I see a couple of them. Their shopping carts are loaded. They're walking out with 40, 50,000 peso bills. So not all foreigners have money. Not all of us do. Here's where you will see it mostly. There's so many different areas and things that you will see, but the big one is like at a market. If you go to a public market, you will, like I said, if you go to a public market in an area where there's a lot of foreigners, you will be charged. You guys have, if you watch my videos, you'll see sometimes I'll go down and I'll ask, you know, Makano, how much for a kilo of bananas? I might get 50 at one. Go to the next one. I might get 60 at one. Might go back down to 50 at one. Might go up to 100 at one. You can see it. You can see it at markets. The best thing to do, if you can, and you have a wife or a girlfriend, let them go out and do the shopping at the markets. They will get the going price. But if you're anxious, or say you don't, you know, have a girlfriend, or say you just want to go out and you want to purchase your own fruits, your own vegetables, or you want to go to the market and purchase your meats or your fish. What I have done, and what I've done in the past, is you might have 5 or 6 small little fruit stands in a row. Stand there, like just observe, look, pretend like you're looking at things. Listen to the people. Listen to what the people are saying. You know, if they'll point at something, bananas, or we're just going to go with bananas, and Makano, and the vendor will tell them, all right, 50. All right, 50, 50. Go to the next vendor. Listen, all right, 50 there too. Listen to what they're telling the local people. Then you can go, okay, Makano, how much for bananas? You know, they might say 60. Okay. Go to the next one. Ask them. They might say 50. Go to the next one. They might say 55. They might say 65. But the person that gives you the best rate, go to them. Go to them and continue to go to them. After a while, they will recognize that you are continually come back and come back and come back. Talk to them. Be friendly with them. Joke with them. You know, don't argue with them. Don't be like, oh, you gave that to the Filipino for 50. Why are you giving it to me for 60? Why? That's no good. You know, you should be. Don't argue with them. Don't argue with them, because then they will lose face and it will make them look bad. But get to know the vendor. If you get to know the vendor, they're going to give you the same price as everybody else. If you keep going back to them and they know, hey, this guy keeps coming back. But you got to understand one thing too. Prices always go up and down. Depends on the market. If you don't even want to deal with stuff like that, go to the grocery stores. Go to the grocery store at the mall. Everything is marked. You're not going to pay extra because you're a foreigner. Everything is marked. Everybody pays the same per kilo, per banana, or whatever else there is in there. It's marked. You're paying for it. That's just a perfect example. Like I said, don't argue with them. Just don't argue with them. If you got to pay extra, a couple pesos, you pay it. I mean, you pay it. It's five pesos maybe extra. And like I said, just keep going back to the same people and be friendly and get to know them. Another thing where you might pay a skin tax is rent. I've heard stories where a person will move into an apartment area and there's Filipinos all around them. They're all in the same type of apartment, same setup, same everything. They get talking to the Filipino. Well, how much do you pay for rent? Oh, we pay 8,000 pesos. It's just a saying, 8,000 pesos. And we moved in like a week before you. And you're like, wait, I'm paying 10,000 or I'm paying 15,000. The best thing to do with something like that, once again, if you have a girlfriend or a wife, let them go and negotiate. But if you're on your own and you want to do it, if they say, you know, it's 10,000, you can always try and smile and negotiate with them and say, can you come down a little lower? My budget doesn't allow that. A lot of times the landlord will. But the thing is, they look at you as a foreigner coming in there, and once again, they look at you as having money. And the best thing to try to do is just kind of negotiate. When we got into our house here, the lady wanted a lot more than what we're paying, and I negotiated with her. She flat out said when we moved into our place, I want to rent to a foreigner, and the first thing that went through my mind is, okay, she wants to rent to a foreigner because she wants to overcharge me. But that wasn't the case. She wanted to rent to a foreigner because she knew she was going to get paid every month. Another example I've seen, I've seen a place that was sitting empty for months and months. The landlord wanted so much for it. The foreigner came in and said, listen, can we come down on the price a little bit? I'll give you a whole year's worth of rent, deposits, everything. And sadly enough, the owner of the place said no. Like, some of them will say no. You gotta understand, people would rather not rent to you or sell you something than to sell you it at the price that everybody else is. That's just the way it is here. Here's another thing. If you're gonna buy a new car or a new motorcycle, a lot of times people come here and they wanna buy a new motorcycle to get around, or a new car. Motorcycles and cars are a set price. You will not get a skin tax on it. If you go online and you look up, say, like Yamaha NMAX 155, if it says it is 119,000 pesos cash, no matter where you go, it is going to be 119,000 pesos cash. If you go in somewhere and they say, oh, you know, it's 150,000, no, walk out. Walk out, because you are being taken advantage of. You are getting a major skin tax taken on you. I've also seen too where you've got expats that are, they're just so mad. You know, oh, they charge me extra. They're always charging me. They're always charging me extra. And they go and they park their car somewhere, their motorbike. And a lot of places have, like at a bank and things like that, they will have somebody there that is a parking attendant, a Filipino. And they go in, they do their business, they get in the car. A lot of times what happens is you leave. I do it all the time. I'll tip the guy. I give him a tip. They work for tips. But these expats are so mad that they've been given the skin tax so much that, like, I'm not giving them anything. If I don't have to give them anything, I'm not giving them anything. And that's wrong. That's wrong. But that's just how some people are. Another thing you will see too, and you got to be careful, and I didn't know until, you know, nobody was there and I didn't really know. When it comes to construction work here, best thing to do, once again, girlfriend, family member, whatever, try to negotiate a deal. But like us guys, sometimes we want to do the negotiating. We want to find out what we're spending our money on. I didn't know, and I've overpaid. I had a carpenter come in and he gave me a price, and I didn't know, and I overpaid. The second guy came in and he gave me a price, and I started asking around. Always ask around too if you can. If you're in an area where there's expats, ask around. There's so many Facebook expat forums. You can go on there and you can talk to other expats that will know these things, know whether or not you're getting skin taxed or not. I know the guy was overcharging me. I just knew for a fact he was. And I said to the man, I said, can we come down in a price? Can we negotiate a cheaper price? And he said no. He would rather sit at his house not doing any work than come down on a price. And here's another thing you might run into too. And it's a slick skin tax. And we say, okay, here's your price, and it's a good price. And okay, it'll take 4 days. Fourth day comes along and they're like, it's gonna take a little longer. It's gonna cost a little more. So they pile that skin tax on there that way. I've seen that. But anyways, like I said, these are just some of the things. Always, if you can, you know, some of the times you're just gonna eat it. I've eaten it many a times. And I've always said, I do not mind paying extra for anything here as long as I get good quality service and somebody that knows what they're doing. I have no problem paying that. Am I the kind of person that is willing to pay it all the time and I don't care? No, I don't have that kind of money to where I can say I will pay it every time and I don't care. But anyway, those are just some examples. Now, for the person that might leave this comment, this part's for you. The comment of, if you don't like it, you can leave my country. Here's what I want to say to you. I want to invite you to America. I want to bring you to America. I want to get you a job. You're going to make good money. You're going to work. We fly in, we land in the airport, you're excited. Wow, there's a coffee place, or there's a McDonald's. I want to go eat there. We go over there to McDonald's. We go to the coffee place. You get the same thing I do. The cashier says to me, Philly, yours is $5. Okay. They look at you. You're the foreigner in America now. Sir, yours is $10. Wait, this is 5, mine's 10. Why am I paying extra? Well, we have the skin tax. Oh. You go pay rent. Your rent's higher. You go to the grocery store. Your grocery bill's higher than everybody else. How would you feel? How would you feel? See what I'm saying? Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't, I guess the old saying, it's not the point, it's the principle. I guess you could look at it like that. But for the one that says, if you don't like my country, you can leave, come to my country, and pay twice as much for everything that everybody else in the country pays, and see how you like it after a while. And let me know if it irritates you a little bit. Anyways, with that being said, like I said, this video is not meant to belittle or make the people look bad here or the culture look bad here. It's a fact, guys. It's a fact. And if you say, oh, it's not a fact, I don't know where you're living here in the Philippines. Maybe where you're living, it's not true. But for those of us that live here in certain areas, we do. We just deal with it. And like I said, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to go mad. I'm not going to scream and holler at anybody because they've overcharged me. That's not how it works here. Just smile and say thank you. And also, when you get your bill, it will not say extra skin tax. It won't say that on there. But anyways, those are my thoughts. That's what I want to put out there. I know people have experienced it. If you want to put your comments down below, put your comments down below. And with that being said, you guys take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of the sick, the elderly, and the young, and we'll talk to you later.